Welcome to our journey through Japan's feudal era, a time of samurai warriors, powerful warlords, and dramatic battles. For over 700 years, Japan was ruled not by emperors, but by warriors. Let's explore how this fascinating period began, how it changed Japan, and how its legacy still lives on today. One. The beginning. The Heian Period, 794 to 1185. Long ago, in a time of elegance and tradition, Japan entered a golden age known as the Heian Period. The imperial court was centered in the beautiful city of Kyoto, which became a hub of art, literature, and refined culture. Life at court was graceful and peaceful. Aristocrats wrote poetry, practiced calligraphy, and wore colorful, layered robes that reflected the seasons. But this refined lifestyle existed mainly within the capital. Outside Kyoto, the countryside was far less peaceful. Powerful landowners, known as daimyo, began to gain influence. Because the imperial government had little control over the distant provinces, these landowners took matters into their own hands. They hired armed warriors to defend their estates. These warriors came to be known as samurai. They were more than just soldiers. They lived by a strict code of honor, loyalty, and discipline. Their way of life would become deeply woven into the fabric of Japanese society. As the years passed, the power of the emperor weakened. Real control was slipping into the hands of the samurai and their leaders. A new era, the age of the warrior, was about to begin. 2. War and power. The Genpei War, 1180 to 1185. The peace of the Heian period eventually crumbled. Two powerful clans, the Minamoto and the Taira, clashed in a brutal civil war known as the Genpei War. This war was not just about land or wealth, but about who would control the future of Japan. The fighting was fierce and spread across the country, involving samurai on both sides. After years of bloodshed, the Minamoto clan emerged victorious. Their leader, Minamoto no Yoritomo, was granted the title of shogun, a military commander with ultimate power. In 1292, Yoritomo established the Kamakura Shogunate, named after his base of power in the town of Kamakura. Though the emperor still sat on the throne in Kyoto, he was now a symbolic figure. The real power lay in the hands of the shogun. This marked the true beginning of military rule in Japan, a system that would shape the country for centuries to come. 3. The Kamakura Shogunate, 1192 to 1333. Under the Kamakura Shogunate, Japan's government was firmly in the hands of the samurai class. The shogun ruled with the help of loyal daimyo, and samurai served them with fierce devotion. Their loyalty and bravery became the backbone of this new society. But Japan would soon face an external threat, unlike any before. In the late 1200s, the mighty Mongol Empire, led by Kublai Khan, attempted to invade Japan. In 1274, and again in 1281, large fleets of Mongol ships sailed toward Japan's shores. The samurai bravely defended their homeland. But nature also played a role. On both occasions, powerful typhoons destroyed the invading fleets. These storms were later called kamikaze, or divine winds, believed to be a sign that the gods protected Japan. While the invasions were repelled, the cost was high. The government struggled to reward the samurai who had fought. Over time, dissatisfaction grew, and the Kamakura shogunate weakened. Eventually, it collapsed, paving the way for a new and unstable era. 4. The Ashikaga and the Age of Warring States, 1336 to 1573. In 1336, a new shogunate rose, the Ashikaga shogunate. But this government was never as strong as its predecessor. Conflict soon broke out again. Local lords became more independent and ambitious, and Japan descended into chaos. This period, known as the Sengoku Jidai, or the Age of Warring States, lasted over a century. Powerful daimyo fought each other for land and influence. Alliances were made and broken. Betrayal was common. Japan was no longer one united country, but a patchwork of rival territories, each with its own army and castle. It was a time of destruction, but also of innovation. New military strategies were developed. Castles were built with stronger defenses. The first firearms, brought by Portuguese traders in the 1500s, changed how battles were fought. Out of this chaos, a few powerful leaders would rise and dream of uniting Japan once again. 5. The Three Great Unifiers, late 1500s. Japan's long years of civil war finally began to end, thanks to three extraordinary leaders, known as the Three Great Unifiers. Oda Nobunaga, a bold and ruthless general. He was one of the first to use guns in battle and defeated many powerful rivals. He began the process of unification with determination and clever tactics. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Nobunaga's loyal general who took over after his death. Hideyoshi completed the unification of most of Japan and introduced important reforms, including a strict social class system. Tokugawa Ieyasu. After Hideyoshi's death, Ieyasu defeated all remaining enemies at the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. In 1603, he was appointed shogun. His rule would begin a new era of peace and order. These three men ended the Sengoku Jidai and laid the foundation for centuries of stability. 6. The Tokugawa Ado Period, 1600–1868. With Tokugawa Ieyasu as shogun, Japan entered the Edo period, a time of peace, order, and isolation. The Tokugawa family ruled Japan for over 250 years from their capital, Edo, modern-day Tokyo. The samurai, once fierce warriors, no longer went to battle. Instead, they became scholars, government officials, and teachers. They continued to live by the code of Bushidō, stressing honor, loyalty, and duty. Japan also closed itself off from the outside world. Under the Sakoku policy, foreigners were forbidden to enter, and Japanese people were not allowed to leave. This isolation allowed Japanese culture to flourish without outside influence. During this peaceful time, arts like kabuki theater, woodblock printing, and haiku poetry became very popular. The population grew, cities expanded, and merchant culture thrived. But even this long period of calm would eventually come to an end. 7. The end of the samurai era, 1800s. By the 1800s, the world was changing, and Japan could no longer remain isolated. In 1853, American warships led by Commodore Matthew Perry arrived in Tokyo Bay, demanding that Japan open its ports to trade. This shock led to internal unrest. People began to question the power of the shogunate. In 1868, a major political shift occurred. The Meiji Restoration. The emperor was restored to real power, and the Tokugawa Shogunate was abolished. Japan began a rapid modernization process. The samurai class was disbanded, a new national army was created, and the feudal system was dismantled. The age of the samurai had come to an end, but their influence would live on. 8. The legacy of the feudal era. Though the samurai are gone, their legacy remains deeply rooted in Japanese culture. Their values, honor, loyalty, discipline, continue to shape Japanese society. These ideals, part of the Bushidō Code, are taught in schools, shown in martial arts, and reflected in the way people live and work. Japan's castles, temples, and traditional art forms remind us of this powerful past. And in modern times, samurai stories live on in anime, movies, books, and video games. It gave rise to iconic figures, unique traditions, and a rich culture that still inspires the world today.